Oh, I didn't know that they say I was the only person that fucked 50 Cent up. I ain't know that. I'm gonna be honest. Tony Yayo told 50 Cent himself. Y'all can Google it. Tony Yayo.
Recently, the notion of internet safety has been dismantled using the most extreme methods possible. For almost 15 years, Curtis, 50 Cent, Jackson, and William Leonard Roberts II, better known as Rick Ross, participated in digital warhead trafficking. From the total protection of their multi-million-dollar residences. We examined the memes. We laughed at the pointless Instagram videos. We looked at the financial receipts as they threw song at each other like pocket change. But yesterday, the ultra-exclusive gated VIP club at Miami International Airport completely lost its digital safety net. As soon as the runway ran out, the Cold War broke out. What had begun as a tranquil luxury stopover became a horrifying spectacle. We are talking about a violent, high-adrenaline, physical battle that has left one of the biggest feuds in hip-hop history brimming with sincere hatred. The glass shattered and the mahogany tables fell. Personal bodyguards and federal airport enforcers had to struggle desperately to keep these two heavyweights from tearing each other to pieces. Recently, an anonymous insider speaking under strict confidentiality revealed the horrible truth of what really happened beyond those frosted glass VIP doors. This isn't just another online gossip. Hip-hop has consistently moved toward more aggressive throughout its existence. Stay with me for the next several minutes as we analyze the exact chronology of the violence, the audio that was surreptitiously caught on a covert device, and the disastrous outcomes that caused one of these moguls to flee the state under armed escort. You really cannot afford to miss this. To truly understand the gravity of what transpired inside that private terminal, we go back to the beginning of this catastrophic competition. This was hardly an isolated incident of airport rage. This was the brutal, inevitable conclusion of a 17-year psychological struggle. In the business realm of modern hip-hop, beef is usually taken advantage of. It is packed, distributed, and stream-boosted. But Rick Ross and 50 Cent's hostility has always been terrifyingly real. In 2008, the game was played. The event took place at the BET Hip Hop Awards. According to industry folklore, 50 Cent, who was then perched on the absolute throne of his Gina Kingdom, gave Rick Ross a cold, disdainful look as they passed each other in a backstage corridor. For a man like Rick Ross, who had spent years painstakingly crafting a hyper-masculine, untouchable kingpin mystique, such statement was a lethal insult. Ross started fighting as soon as the infamous song Mafia was released in early 2009. But 50 Cent did what he does best. He didn't just rap back. He had surgery. When the Gunnet General obtained formal documents from the Florida Department of Corrections within 48 hours, the world discovered that Rick Ross, the self-described drug billionaire, had really been a correctional officer at a Florida jail. He gave Ross the nickname Officer Ricky in an effort to permanently ruin his reputation in the hip-hop world. For any other musician at any other age, the discovery would have ended their career. But Rick Ross achieved something truly remarkable. He would not die. He continued to live in luxury, starting Platinum Records, expanding Maybach Group into a powerful force with Meek Mill and Whale, and purchasing the Promised Land, a huge 109-room Georgian mansion. For 10 years, Ross tried to prove that he was stronger, richer, and more opulent than the person who exposed him by using luxury as a shield. But 50 Cent never let go of the throat. Over time, the psychological warfare only intensified. During award ceremonies, disagreements among their entourages escalated into violent altercations. Most notably, at the 2012 BET Hip Hop Awards altercation, Ross's close buddy Gunplay was brutally attacked by G90 members. The judicial cases that followed were disastrous. 50 Cent felt compelled to give the mother of Ross' child an incredible $5 million after sharing a private video online in 2015. 50 Cent famously filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy 3 days after experiencing such a serious financial loss. Ross ridiculed 50 Cent's bankruptcy for years, claiming to have viewed 50's bank accounts during court discovery and lamented the small amount of money that remained. On the other hand, Curtis Jackson is a master of the long game. He rebuilt. He earned a lucrative residency in Las Vegas, built a massive film production center in Shreveport, Louisiana, and used a strong franchise to control the television business. By 2026, the balance of power has shifted once more. 50 Cent launched a relentless, intensely targeted online campaign to damage Ross's reputation as a billionaire. He cruelly mocked Ross's role on the Millennium Tour as a mere special guest rather than a headliner, claiming that Ross could no longer sell out an arena on his own. By concentrating on Ross' personal stuff and igniting the viral lawnmower scandal, he publicly questioned why a supposedly enormously wealthy entrepreneur was filming himself mowing his own lawn instead of paying a professional crew. The pinnacle of rudeness was reached when images of Rick Ross waiting to board a commercial airplane went viral. 50 Cent started acting really petty. He reportedly gave Rick Ross exactly $40,000 as a humiliating public joke rather than as a peace gesture, implying that the biggest boss couldn't afford to keep his $35 million custom Gulfstream G550 jet in the air. For months, the tension has been building like a pressure cooker. The internet was laughing. Memes were circulating. Additionally, Rick Ross's dignity was being undermined on a global level. The rap world knew that these two men would never get along without a catastrophic outburst. The business held its breath, waiting for their paths to inevitably cross. But nobody could have predicted that the explosion would occur in a high-security VIP sanctuary, where violence is strictly forbidden and public access is barred. July 16, 2026 was the date. The location was the ultra-exclusive flagship flight support VIP lounge at Miami International Airport, a heavily guarded private terminal where billionaires, foreign diplomats, and affluent celebrities wait to board their private jets. This setting is characterized by quiet elegance, soundproof glass, premium leather, and attentive private security. It is specifically designed to provide total seclusion and peace. At around 2:15 p.m., Rick Ross arrived at the terminal. According to a senior airport worker who witnessed the whole incident, he was intended to travel to Colombia on his newly refurbished custom private aircraft, Maybach Air, which had lately been outfitted with a $500,000 Starlink Wi-Fi system. Ross was escorted by 3 massive, elite personal bodyguards. He was dressed in a bright yellow Gucci tracksuit with heavy platinum chains and his customized multi-carat diamond rings. He walked into the lounge with all the confidence of a man in control of the city. However, the atmosphere in the private dining area became chilly as soon as Ross and his entourage entered. Seated in a secluded leather booth at the far end of the club, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson was quietly sipping a glass of exquisite cognac while in Miami for many high-level meetings related to his television production company. 50 Cent was waiting for his own private plane to return to New York. He had 2 of his own security personnel with him. For 10 agonizing seconds, the whole room became silent. The workers stopped moving. The clinking of crystal glasses ceased. The tension was so intense that it was physically oppressive. In these high society contexts, celebrities usually employ passive avoidance. They look at their phones, whisper to their superiors, and quietly request to be moved to a different private suite. But the constant police harassment and the severe public humiliation brought on by the $40,000 jet hoax had driven Rick Ross to his breaking point. He kept his eyes fixed on it. Instead, he met 50 Cent's gaze, took a big breath, and went directly to his booth. His 3 massive bodyguards strode by him in a scary wall of muscle. 50 Cent's security detail immediately stood up and placed their hands near their coats. But 50 Cent raised his hand and softly motioned for them to remain where they were. He didn't seem afraid. He truly had a cold, sarcastic look on his face, according to witnesses. Ross stopped exactly 3 feet from the 50 Cent table. He leaned down and put both of his heavily iced-out palms on the mahogany wood, and a nearby staff member's open microphone captured him mumbling one nasty question. "You have a lot to say on the internet, Curtis. Why don't you tell me directly when we're on my property?" 50 Cent did not waver. He leaned back cautiously in his leather chair, took a sip of his drink, looked up at Ross, and delivered a quiet, devastating blow. "I would be honest with you, Ricky, but I didn't think you could afford the admission fee to this nightclub. Did you have to spend the $40,000 I gave you in order to pass the gate?" The professional barrier broke down just as 50 Cent was about to finish speaking. Rick Ross howled with unadulterated rage. He pounded his fist against the table, shattering a crystal glass of cognac. He stepped forward and grabbed 50 Cent by the collar of his jacket, forcing him to leave the booth. S-Facts, the sound of wood crashing and glass shattering. The violent altercation took place swiftly and haphazardly. The famous athlete 50 Cent, who has survived 9 gunshot wounds, reacted without hesitation. He broke Ross's grip, drove his shoulder into Ross's chest, and hurled the 300-pound billionaire backward into a marble partition. The crash echoed through the room with its high ceiling like a gunshot. The tables were flipped. Luxurious leather seats covered the gorgeous wooden floor. The two entourages went into a furious, frantic frenzy right away. The two guys collided with an expensive champagne bottle display when Ross's 6 feet 4 inches lead bodyguard raced forward to try to attack 50 Cent, but 50 security halted him in his tracks. The sound of glass breaking and expensive alcohol flowing all over the place created a scene of utter dystopian horror. From chest to chest, it was a pure physical altercation. Ross was shouting profanities, his face contorted with a lifetime of repressed rage, while 50 Cent was fiercely pushing back and delivering fast physical blows to keep the larger guy from pinning him against the wall. However, this encounter then took its first truly shocking turn. The two rap icons fought on the edge of the VIP lounge's special bar, knocking Rick Ross's heavy black leather luxury bag off a high seat and onto the ground. The physical impact of the argument caused the zipper to come out, spilling the contents across the polished floor. Suddenly, there was no more fighting. The bodyguards froze. 50 Cent's eyes widened, and the room was filled with a brief, cold horror. A stack of official-looking financial ledgers landed next to a highly secret red-stamped government document called DOJ Active Investigation/Cooperation Agreement that tumbled out of Rick Ross's personal bag. The silence that followed the document's publication was far more horrific than the physical violence that had preceded it. In the rap scene, the accusation of being a government informant is the most lethal and permanently radioactive designation. When 50 Cent saw the government's red-stamped marks on the paperwork, he immediately withdrew. His mocking smirk had completely been replaced by his cold, calculating gaze. He studied the document, then looked up at Rick Ross, whose face was ash-gray under the harsh lights of the VIP lounge and who was suddenly still. Before Ross security could react, one of the 50 Cent staff members swiftly used a mobile phone to take several high-resolution photos of the documents that had fallen on the floor. Shouted for his security to get the phone as Ross understood how catastrophic what had just been disclosed was. The physical conflict continued, but it was twice as fierce this time. It was no longer just a dispute over hurt feelings or online jokes. It was a desperate, high-stakes battle for concrete evidence. Ross bodyguards attacked 50 Cent's partner and pulled him to the ground in a chokehold as 50 Cent forcefully threw himself into the pile to protect the phone. They were shouting profanities at the top of their lungs. "Remove it. If you don't take it off right away, you won't make it through this airport," Ross yelled, his voice cracking with a terrifying mix of anger and fear. You could hear it outside the airport because it was that loud. Eventually, security guards broke through the double-locked VIP doors. 5 armed Miami-Dade police officers, displaying their weapons and 3 K-9 units, occupied the room. S-Effects. There are loud sirens, yelling, and barking police dogs. Take a step back, everyone. The command to immediately take a step back and put your hands on your heads was given by the lead officer. When local and federal law enforcement arrived, the physical violence finally came to an abrupt end. Numerous police officers violently separated and held Ross and 50 Cent. Their clothes were torn. Their jewelry was disorganized. The lavish lounge was also left looking like a true conflict zone with toppled furniture, shattered crystal, and spilled champagne. No immediate arrests were made because both people were well-known and immensely affluent, but the police made it clear that a comprehensive investigation was under progress. Heavily armed police officers quickly took 50 Cent and his party out of the terminal to prevent another fight on the tarmac. Ross was questioned about the physical altercation and the property damage to the airport facilities for almost an hour in a private holding room, despite the fact that the actual damage had already been done. Within 30 minutes of 50 Cent's departure, many incredibly hazy, redacted images of the red-stamped government document began circulating on underground hip-hop Telegram groups and hidden Discord servers. The caption for the first leak was simple but lethal. The MMG head was captured at MIA while in possession of official documents. Officer Ricky is back at work. Instead of just reacting to the discovery, the internet collapsed. By 5 p.m. The M claimed to have obtained an additional leak from a source close to 50 Cent's camp, according to a prominent hip-hop media organization. The website claims that the partnership agreement found in Ross's bag is directly related to a federal investigation into high-level money laundering and illegal distribution networks from Colombia to Miami. Rick Ross was more than just a former jail guard, if this was true. It was indicated that he was deliberately helping federal officials to protect his own massive $150 million business empire from an imminent prosecution. The narrative has completely shifted. All of a sudden, the biggest boss was facing the worst credibility crisis of his life. The volume of inquiries was rising at a startling rate. Was the refurbishing of the Starlink aircraft only a facade for regular international flying under a government contract? Was his estate in Georgia protected by federal intervention? As the sun began to set over Miami, the rap business found itself teetering on a historical precipice. One of the most powerful producers in the industry posted a single cryptic message on a verified Twitter account, completely changing the course of the tale just when we thought the drama had reached its climax. The digital world of 2026 doesn't wait for news releases or official police reports. Within hours after the violent incident inside the VIP section, social media platform X was completely paralyzed by the flow of individuals trying to find the leaked tape. The hashtags #MiaClash and #OfficerRicky amassed about 8 million posts in less than 6 hours, surpassing the top 5 trending positions globally. Hip-hop culture was instantly divided into two fiercely hostile groups. On the one hand, Rick Ross's loyal fans, who are well known for their steadfast devotion to the MMG brand, launched a significant defensive campaign. They said that the 50 Cent's team used the leaked paper, which was a low-quality piece of AI-generated fiction, to harm Ross's reputation before to the release of his much-anticipated album. Do you fools really believe that Rosie, a wealthy boss, has authentic federal documents in her gym bag? 50 Cent is waging a desperately funded slander campaign because of his decreasing residency in Las Vegas. One viral post got over 50,000 likes in a matter of minutes. But 50 Cent's massive internet army did not back down. Every comment box beneath Ross's Instagram photos was filled with emoji images of police badges, handcuffs, and lawnmowers. Citing the incredibly detailed, authentic serial numbers on the photos of the stolen documents, they said that no AI generator could replicate the exact administrative markings of the Southern District of Florida Federal Court. The hip-hop industry itself responded with a cold, icy silence. Well-known musicians who had previously collaborated with Rick Ross suddenly began to covertly delete their social media profiles. A well-known Memphis rapper who had been heavily featured on several of Ross's classic tracks reportedly unfollowed Ross on all platforms 4 hours after the release. The message was clear. The most basic indication of governmental cooperation is a rapidly spreading disease that might ruin a hip-hop career. Prominent media personalities' public reactions came next. DJ Academics went live on his streaming platform with almost 300,000 concurrent viewers, displaying Ross's prior court appearances together with the pilfered images. This is the end of an era, guys. If a federal court reporter confirms these documents, I am telling you that the MMG brand is dead. You can't rap about drug lords and bulletproof vehicles when you have a red-stamped cooperation agreement in your personal luggage. 50 Cent wasn't the only one to win the beef. He might have just sent Rick Ross into permanent retirement, Academic said, excitedly swinging his fists in front of the camera. Even well-known producer Boozy Badass, who has long been vocal about this street code, voiced his displeasure on his website. His message was apparent even if he didn't mention Ross by name. Now, the entire game is in reverse. Standing in VIP lounges with official documents in their pockets, they pretend to be bosses. I shake my head at this entire generation. True wealth does not require a governmental shield. Meanwhile, early signs of financial market panic were linked to Ross's many business ventures. According to rumors on the internet, some prominent investors associated with Ross fast food franchise locations in the South were asking for urgent meetings to discuss potential consequences for the brand. Rap feuds were no longer the exclusive cause of controversy. The real streets of Miami, the legal system, and corporate boardrooms had all been affected. Everyone on the pitch was forced to take a side. Furthermore, just when the public debate reached a level of extreme, wild anger, Rick Ross' official legal team released a statement that, rather than calming the storm, tossed a giant can of gasoline right onto the fire. At exactly 11:45 p.m. A respectable corporate law firm that represents Rick Ross created an urgent news release. The statement was brief, cold, and quite accurate from a legal standpoint, rather than simply "and."